Hello to everyone in chat. Let's see what we've got here. So on our earlier stream on twitch.tv, we spent some time to look at what hero do we want to buy or hire to help us get another level 1 for the DFK Fight Klub. So let's talk about that a little bit more here today. DFK Fight Klub, got their own Discord, got stuff going on in here, and a little bit about the game info, how turns work, how to set up your account, all this other kind of stuff. I think everyone in DeFi Kingdoms world is familiar with Fight Klub. Are you signed up? There's only 64 seats available in the tournament. Some of the prizes are looking pretty good. I think if we do maybe it's under tournament chat, perhaps. Scroll up a little bit. I'm not sure any better place to find it, but here we go. The Little Heroes Tournament. I guess some people are calling it the Baby Cup also. It's going to begin this Friday, October the 8th. It's the responsibility of each of the participants to schedule a time to battle with their opponents, and it's done here in Discord. So I guess one of the cool things about that is you could even do it from your phone. Any agreed upon time is fine, as long as those opponents agree with that. There's deadlines for completions for each round due to the constraints of a 64-person roster. So again, only 64 seats are going to be available for this tournament. Level 1 heroes only, that's an important aspect of this as well. I think most of us should be able to get a hold of level 1 heroes, even floor heroes. Dread Knights are ineligible. I guess they're too overpowered. They say we may ban other classes after testing, but it turns out that they did not. So there was a cutoff time by October the 1st, and it looks like all the other classes were fine. Each participant will assemble a team of 6 heroes. 3 can be used at any given time, and then of course that gives you a chance for some backups or rotation in your lineup. Seeding will be determined after registration. Each round will be the best of 3 game series, single elimination. Gameplay will be governed by Fight Klub. There we go. So 64 participants, and the prizes that y'all are probably going to be interested in. Again, this is all for level 1s. There's not a lot of opportunity to advance those heroes up in a more specialized or pinpointed fashion, right? I think overall, it's going to be a little bit more balanced out between most of the participants there. You're not going to have any massively honed level 10s fighting other level 10s that might not be as honed as some of the others, right? Everyone's going to kind of have almost a generic level 1, and maybe some of the only things that would give you bonuses, or some people bonuses, would be the fact that you might have a mythic or some type of rarity, or maybe some kind of enhancement stone was used on its summon. But even with that, I wouldn't expect that the difference in hero abilities for these level 1s to be very drastic, right? So the prize pools, what could you win? Why would you even care to enter this kind of thing? Well, for one, only 64 entries, so that seems like you've got a pretty good chance at winning, depending on what they're going to dish out. And especially since there is a raffle for a lot of things down here, you don't even need to be very good. You just need to get yourself into the tournament. First place is going to be 300 crystal payout. Second place is 200 crystal payout. Those 2 levels are not eligible for the raffle prize pool down here below. I think in fact it says somewhere tournament champion and runner-up not eligible for the raffle. So then you've got 3rd and 4th place each getting 30 crystal, and then of course a couple of other things. 300 remaining crystal is going to go to the raffle system, which that is separated out into 3 separate prizes of 100 crystal each. So as far as the raffle goes, upon entering the raffle, you will receive 1 ticket. Every round you advance will gain you 1 additional raffle entry as well. So as long as you can get into the raffle, then you've got a chance to win. Every time that you are winning can be an additional raffle ticket. For me, I am kind of interested in just participating with the community. So I just want to show my support, add a seat on the list, and hopefully get them to a place where they're filling up all 64 seats, just to kind of show that, yeah, DeFi Kingdoms has enough players to fill up a 64 participant tournament. There's enough interest in the game. So if you like DeFi Kingdoms, even if you don't expect to win, it might be nice just to see filling out the seats. It's a 15 crystal entry fee. Even if you don't win those 100 crystals right there in the raffle, then you still have a chance to get some of these Gen 0 summons provided by Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms, Bogside Chats, Crypto Grady is providing a couple, and Sir Worm. I think next time I will end up providing one as well. I do have 4 Gen 0s that I could contribute, and maybe what we could even do is try to find some kind of a pair between mine and one of these others as well. Maybe I could talk to Crypto Grady or Bogside Chats, say, hey, I've got these 4 Gen 0s. Maybe we can work something out where we can pair one of mine with one of yours as part of a prize there as well, right? But for this tournament right here, you've got several opportunities here to get a Gen 1 that has been summoned by these Gen 0 pairs. And for Crypto Grady's, apparently, he's even got several that you could choose from. Same with Sir Worm. There is a DFK Fight Klub sign up, which I've already signed up for. So I think if I click this, it's just going to go to nothing, or a sheet that says you've already responded. But it's a short little form to fill out. Let's try to get in there as quick as we can. And if you haven't played before, or if you're not even sure what it's about, don't worry, I've signed up and I have not played before either. In fact, yesterday or the day before, I got into the DFK Fight Klub Discord and went to go find a fight. I went and registered everything I needed to do here, set up an AI test. I think it's called a lead out, that was comprised of some of my own heroes that I could fight against my own heroes just in an AI battle. So that was on a video that I did maybe 1 or 2 days ago, and I do plan to do a little bit more of that today in case anyone wants to catch that. It would be on one of the live videos and not one of the featured videos. Our live video, of course, is live, but if you come under videos and then look, instead of uploads, look at either past live streams or all, then you should see several past live streams that we've had over the past several days. And that is going to be a whole lot more content for y'all. I'm doing about 3 hours a day here on YouTube in the afternoons and 3 hours a day in the morning on Twitch. For the Fight Club, we're trying to look for a hero that we can join in the tournaments. I've looked at a couple of these this morning on the Twitch stream that we might want to pair. What we're trying to do, I need a level 1 warrior, probably specifically a level 1 warrior wizard, preferably with mining. And so I was looking at the tavern a little earlier, and I was not really finding a good one. If I go for a warrior and a wizard, it's a sub, it's got to be a level 1, of course, and apply. Then here we've got a couple of warrior wizards. Are there any in here that are worth buying for this tournament? I didn't really see any that were great. It's all well and good to go and spend a little bit of crystal on a new hero or a level 1 that you might have, because you're just going to level it up normally. But if you do, then is it going to be a good hero outside of this tournament? Because you're probably going to be holding on to it for a while, maybe doing some other things with it. So one of the things that I was looking at, if I'm going to be getting a warrior, why not try to see if we can get a profession of mining as well? Although mining is a small part of the game, it is still something that I'm kind of working towards. So if we flip all these over, we see a lot of these just are not mining. Foraging, fishing. There is a miner right there for 52. Warrior, wizard. It's only got 1 summons left. We are going to be buying this for 52. And then we look at some of the other stats for it. Blue and green for wisdom and luck. That's not a great hero for a warrior necessarily. Luck will probably give us a little bit more damage. Wisdom might help get us a little bit more. Well, wisdom's blue, so it's doesn't have a bonus on it right now anyway. It starts with 5, just like all the others do. And if we're going to be using this longer term, a blue wisdom wouldn't really be what we would want for mining. So would we want to spend money on that? We look at some of the others. Here's a mining with agility. Again, same situation. There's another miner with agility and dex. So dexterity could also help us a little bit with damage. Maybe we should just go ahead and buy this one for, this one right here for 52. Because the other alternative is we might need to do a summons. And I don't mind doing a summons for this, but the summons will probably cost us more. So if we use this one right here, Gen 3, 4/4, which already means that we're spending a little bit for it. Gen 4, 46 crystal, it looks like. which is almost just as much as we would be spending in the tavern to buy that other wizard. And this is only one side of it. And the cheapest that the other one would be is 16, which would take us up to about 62. And if I was going to do a summons, I might even want to use a stone, some Gaia tears, some other stuff. And if I'm just looking for another warrior to get in there real quick, that might not be the best. Of course, buying this one over here does ensure, it guarantees that I'm only going to be using a common, whereas doing a summons might possibly get us something a little bit better. In fact, if we go and look at this hero specifically here, both of these, of course, are commons as well, but there's still a chance that we could end up with a mythic or legendary, right? Very small, but it's greater than 0. This pairing also gives us a 90% chance to get a warrior, 42 for a monk. The matching with gardening is a little scary though, but there are some better ones that we could match with here. 85% warrior, 77% wizard, 87% mining. Still, we have a possibility for legendary mythic. We've got a good opportunity for intelligence on both of these stat boosts, which would be good for Fight Klub and being able to get in there both for damage and also for charge. This does mean that we're going to have to spend a little bit of money, well, definitely more than the 52 for that. I guess one thing I should also look at is how much do I have in the way of funds right now anyway. I think for this one we were going to have to buy a hero. We're going to buy a warrior, a wizard mining hero for this one. Oh, this one's also a level 1, huh? Warrior wizard. 10 of 10, level 1, gen 1 with mining. Let's go over to our main account over here. So we've got 49 crystal right there. We've got 102 jewel. And on this account, we've only got 8 jewel and 5 crystal. Looks like we don't have a ton of money to go out and buy a lot of stuff right now. So let's go and check account number 3, jeweler here. And let's refresh this just to make sure we're looking at the right wallet account information. Sometimes we need to refresh for certain things. Looks like it's still a big fat 0. If we come over to the marketplace, let's go ahead and look at trader. Let's see what else we've got behind the scenes here as far as tokens might be of interest to us. So we have got a bunch of items. 49 crystal, 102 jewel. What are we going to do about getting that? For one, it is pretty substantial expense. If I come back up to here, 184 purchase price. Yikes. For this common, gen 1, level 1 common. That's a lot to spend, but it does have the wizard mining that we do want, or a subclass profession. So how difficult would that be for us to do that on our own? Some of the other stuff that we're looking at here, if we try to pair these up, do we have any chance for advanced stats? We do have a slight chance for some advanced stats. Might be worth it just to grab it because it's already a level 1. We wouldn't even have to necessarily do a summons with it. So that would save us a little bit of money right there. If I do that, then I'm really going to need probably pull some funds out of something else. I'm getting a little closer to thinking about buying one rather than trying to summon one, with the RNG possibly not being favorable. And then we're going to do some Fight Klub stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these that I have up here already. And we're just going to take a closer look at all of the options a little bit. I need to pull some funds from somewhere. Where am I going to do that? We could take something out of some of our gardens. We could go into a jeweler somewhere. If we go into Harmony blockchain and look at the assets in here, jeweler, got a little bit of money in here. See, this is part of the problem that I'm looking at also. Jewel's been down a lot over the last several days, and crystal has been up a lot the last several days. It's going to take a large amount of jewel to get that same amount of crystal, but I really don't want to pull that out necessarily. It is where we've got a bit more funds. I do have, so let's tell you what, let's go ahead and withdraw 63 X crystal, which would be 114, and that ought to be enough jewel with the jewel that we already have, the 100 jewel that we already have, and the 40 or so crystal that we already have. This is probably going to be enough to do whatever we need to do over there. I'm going to edit this just because oftentimes Harmony blockchain likes to give us higher numbers. Yep, 115. Just go ahead and do 100 on the gas fee for that. So let's get over here to a bridge, and let's refresh this page also. All right, let's go ahead and bridge over this jewel. We've got 115 jewel to send over, approve that bridge. Here's where we're editing, edit the gas fees. Oh, it's 115 again. Okay, well, not as bad as I thought it was for this. Maybe it's a little different on the token bridging. We should end up with about 114 Jewel on the other end. All right, let's get back over to our DFK chain here and take a look at our Jewel that we've got now. Should be coming in soon. We've got 102, and we ultimately should have more. I think what we want to do is convert that Jewel into crystal. So in that particular case, we ought to go over to the marketplace in anticipation of that. There we go, 217 Jewel. Let's get over here into the trader and trade Jewel for crystal. Let's do max minus maybe, oh man, we're gonna be so close. Look at this already. We've got 50 there plus the 40 there. It's 190 total. We're gonna need like every bit that we can get. So how about just swap that out and confirm, and let's see what that ends up getting us. So 217 Jewel, getting us about 140 crystal. It's almost a 2-to-1 right now, isn't it? Really painful to be converting Jewel to crystal right now. I feel like that makes it extra expensive. Let's get back into the tavern, agent, buy heroes, and let's just take a look at this one right here. It's a lot to pay for a hero, 180 crystal, but that is about what I would expect if we were going to do our own summons with some Gen Zeros. So what do we end up with right here? We now have a new hero, Fawynn Horsebranch. Cool name. I like the aesthetics also. We've got a warrior, only a common, level 1 Gen 1, so we can get it into the tournament, which is great. 10 of 10 summons. Warrior wizard, which is what we're looking for Fight Club. Let's flip that card and look at this. So one of the things that we had here was a 13 strength, which was pretty good. We had a intelligence green bonus, which allows us to have a little bit of a boost right away for not only damage, but also charge for Fight Club. After the tournament, being a warrior minor, it's still good as far as profession goes as well. And then also, besides this hero just being an okay hero for itself, look at what we've got here with this. Fawynn Horsebranch, if we pair that hero now with one of our own heroes here, Miley Gore follower, a warrior wizard minor also, is a Gen 3, that is true. I don't particularly like that too much. But when we come down here, we get some really nice things here. Here we see we've got some Gaia Tears. That was something else that I was noticing about this. The summoner gave us some Gaia Tears, which I thought was good. We also have a chance when we tried to do this for a basic 1, basic 2 for stats unknown, and I thought that would be kind of interesting as well, since everybody's talking about that these days. 85% chance for a warrior, 77% chance for a wizard, 87% chance for mining, and then we've got a common intelligence boost right there. Intelligence here could also produce another very good warrior wizard combination that's really kind of focused, and then also gives us small chances for some advance. There's a 3.74 advanced right there. Again, not much. They might have a chance to get ice as an element for a background, which would be good for Fight Club. And then of course we've got a 9.38 chance and a 14.6% chance for advanced in the stats unknown 1 category. So what we want to do at this point here and grab our wallet address for our main account right there, and then move this hero into that wallet. Before we do that, let's just check to see. Fawynn has a little bit of XP. We definitely do not want Fawynn to go over level 1, so we're going to need to also update our level up spec sheet to keep that from happening. We do want to try to see if we can keep sending her on some quests, get her up to about 2000 XP as soon as we can, even if we're not going to level her up before Saturday. So let's go ahead back to the tavern and the barkeep. Sending heroes. Let's send this one over there. Sending it off to the rock808 account. Let's go ahead and send. Confirm. We should see under my heroes, sort by levels. We now have Fawynn with our other level 1s. Some of these level 1s are already ready to level up. We're just blocking their level up, so they will be available as level 1s to get into the Fight Club tournament this weekend. I think here's another one ready to level up, but we're gonna hold back on that. But this gives us 6 level 1 heroes to choose from. So the only thing that we would want to do a little bit better, I guess, is use a stone, some kind of enhancement stone during the summoning process. Let's come over here to DFK Fight Klub, and instead of this hero right here, hero 24370, which is our current warrior priest, Ingar, let's stick in this warrior wizard and see what happens. So let's take this wallet address and reload the page. Coming into Fight Klub, putting our wallet address in there. Let's choose, for our first place, we want our pirate right here. Then in second place, we want our new warrior wizard. Then in third place, we want our archer wizard. So let's view. I think this is the lineup that we're looking for right here. Posey Tithothrax, if we can get off a couple of barrages, a cleave, an aim shot, or a full draw, I think we're looking really good. And that's what we're going to be trying for right here in a moment. So one of the other heroes, let me add this one to the list. Fawynn Horsebranch is a warrior wizard that has cleave, last stand, that each require 1 meter, which is part of the problem with the warrior that I had before. It had these good abilities, cleave and last stand, but they required a meter, and I might not always have a meter. And here we're getting Ice Blast, which is going to be our 0 meter attack as well. We want to put in Posey's Cannon Barrage. We're going to then give Fawn's, if we can't do an Ice Blast, then we'll do a Fierce Attack. Then Posey will do another Cannon Barrage, and then we should be able to do another Fierce Attack, and then Franz can do an Ice Blast, and so can Fawynn if need be. Sounds good. That is our lineup. So let's come over here for Fight Klub and look at this. We're going to come into Find Fights, perhaps. Go ahead and look at view team. Right now our team is these guys right here. Posey was first, Ingar was second, Aronis was in the back, but we're going to mix that up a little bit and we're going to put in our new one. Okay, so that is the one that we want right here. We want to put this one in our mid section now. So we're going to say choose team, put in our hero ID that we have right there. The position that we want is mid, and then we can enter that. So now we've got Posey up front, Fawynn in the middle, Franz in the back, a couple of cannon barrages, ice blasts, full draws, all kinds of crazy stuff in there. Let's get to a battle. So if we are in the Find Fights page or channel right here, I think we can say Battle AI, and then we can choose a loadout name if we already have one, which I should have a loadout name from the other day called Test 1. Battle between Rock and AI started. Please go to Battle Room C. Let's hop in here. Can we use a skill right off the bat? We're going to use Cannon Barrage. That was our plan. Deals 50 damage. I'm not sure why we don't have ability to do Ice Blast here. There we go. So here we've got Posey uses Cannon Barrage. They swap positions. Ingar does an attack. It never takes 50 damage from the Cannon Barrage and then uses Last Stand, which again, that seems a little weird. Maybe the AI isn't the best for that. Ingar gains 10 damage. Fawynn attacks. They take 26 more damage from the auto attack. Fawynn takes 38 damage down to 104. And so now I should be able to use a skill. I can use Ice Blast. Let's do that. That should do another 75 points of damage. Fawynn uses Ice Blast. Ingar takes 75 points of damage. Fawynn attacks. Ingar takes 28 damage. Theirs and theirs dies right there. Okay. Theirs attacks mine for 33 points of damage. Fawynn is down to 71 health. Let's go ahead and try to use another skill. We can't use Cleave yet because we don't have enough meter built up yet. We could do another Cannon Barrage, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to see how this ends up. Turn 3 has ended, calculating the results. Our Posey uses Cannon Barrage. We swap places with Peronis also. Theirs takes 50 points of damage. They're down to 69 now. Our Fawynn attacks their Montserrat. They take another 26 points of damage down to 43. They attack us, our Fawynn, for 34 points. We're down to 37. We can also watch these visually as well. They're down to 2. So Posey hands off a Cannon Barrage, takes another 50 points away. Then we do another 26 points of damage, down even further. They dish out 34 points. They've got quite a bit more meter than we do. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to a cleave anytime soon. Let's go ahead and use a skill, and let's use Ice Blast again. That should be enough, I think. If we had them down to 37 or 43 points, then our 50 points of damage should finish them off. We might lose a hero here. Fawynn uses Ice Blast. They do take 75 points of damage. Their Montserrat dies. Then their Cronus moves up and attacks, kills our Fawynn. So I need to think about that too, because that's where we had the cleave. Maybe the cleave should come in. I need to figure out how I'm going to get cleave in there. Okay, so let's use a skill. We got 45 seconds. It's all timed. Let's take a cannon barrage again, or actually Ice Blast deals 75. I think they were down to 117. May as well do more damage if we can. We could steal 25 meter from the enemy as well. Gain 50% damage, or speed randomly chosen. We use Ice Blast, take them down to 42. They're going to, looks like they use Ice Blast. We take 75 points of damage. Franz attacks normally. We take 28 more damage. We do another 14. They're down to 40, and if we use a skill at this point, as long as we do 40 damage, I think we are good. So we could just do a cannon barrage and end it right here, right? Looks like we got up to 6 rounds. It feels like we were a little slow. Posey Tithrax uses cannon barrage, not able to push anything. I guess not able to go back into the background. We deal out 50 points of damage, and their Cronus dies. So our team wins. And if we want to watch all these turns, that's where it can get kind of interesting as well. Turn 2. So turn 2, we got off a quick attack on them using Ice Blast. Did a nice hit right there. And then an additional 28. Knocked him out totally. That's in round 2. So we did pretty quick work of that first one right there. And they get a good hit, and that's where it leaves off. So in round 2, we take out their front line, but that's, I don't know if that's always going to happen. The front line's pretty hard to take out, usually. And then for round 3, we do a cannon barrage. We get pushed into the back. Cannon barrage hits for 50 points, does a decent amount of damage. We do our normal attack for 26, gets them there. They attack for 34. Let's get pushing us pretty low right here. We're charging for 12. They're charging for 27 meters because this one right here has a decent amount of charge with it. Absolutely. So for turn number 4, we're going to go ahead and do another 75 point Ice Blast. Should take them out all the way. Yep, they're going to move up and attack for 43. That probably takes mine out. That's where Fawynn dies. But then Cronus attacks in for 25, and everybody moves up a little bit. Now we're both at 13 meter each for each of these. Turn number 5, who gets initiative? We get initiative. We're going to do another Ice Blast for 75 points. It's a decent amount of damage up here. They do 75 back to us. Again, also using Ice Blast. Then we do our normal attack of 28. They do their normal attack of 27. So we've got a little bit of advantage on that with our hero here. And they get some good amount of meter back. It looks like at this point, all we need to do is get the first hit. Is that going to happen or not, right? And again, we're playing against an AI that might not be as advanced as a human player. So we get off a cannon barrage, take out 50, and then of course that's the end of the game. But they could be using things like interrupts, right? They could be using interrupts. With my lineup, I could just keep throwing things out there. I guess it's possible that I could use a fierce attack instead of something else, or do some kind of weird swapping. But I think one of my strategies is probably just going to be to just use abilities every turn. We'll have to see how that goes with a set of human players. Something else that might be kind of fun as well is, let's see if we can scroll back and see some other people playing previously. Let's take a look at this. Team 1, Franz. Team 2 is Kory. They have all level 1s. Bunch of level 1s there, bunch of level 1s there. They've got a front line of, it looks like a warrior archer. Their mid is an archer seer, and their back is whatever blitz is, I don't know, with a archer. Okay, Kory's team looks like warrior in the front. Looks like a common thing to have. with an archer. We've got a wizard. Their second line is lightning strike and attune, which I don't know what class that comes from, but of course ice blast is wizard. And then their last place, it looks like an archer with aim shot and another aimed shot there. So I think we've got a pretty decent lineup for what we have. If this is what they're bringing in, let's see how this goes. Turn number 1 for them. Team 1 interrupts, 2's front line. Boom, stops right there. Team 2 interrupt teams 1. And then of course they just have their normal attacks right there. So they're just doing interrupts right away. And then there's a bit of a charge happening. So for me, for someone to interrupt, I think you have to choose which level you're interrupting. And because of my hero selection, my front line and my mid line both have skills that take 0 meter, and they both have attack skills that can be used. Turn number 2 comes in. They get first attack 70, uses aimed shot even, and then a normal attack for 33, fiercely attacks for 51. That's a pretty strong fierce attack. And they get team 2 gets to charge for 11 meters, getting a little bit higher than the 9. They started to go after their mid line right there in turn 3. Then we've got, again, last stand, gains 25 damage. Aimed shot hits their midsection. Normal attack does 55 over here. Swing, and again, attacks 37. Charge, again, 11 and 9. So we see that charge is going up just a little bit there. Already starting to get low and don't even have half of a meter. Turn 4. Team 1 interrupts Team 2's front line. Team 2 interrupts Team 1's front line. 56 and 31 damage. So again, it looks like we've already lost one over here on Fran's side. Kory's side has just a little bit. Here, we saw things change a little bit. Now I think we've got 11 meter and 14 meter gain. So I wish this was a little bit slower, but it's a good bit of a difference. Although it looks like Kory's probably going to lose front line next. Let's see what we got for turn number 5. They swap positions right there, and then Kory's doing 28 points of damage. Franz doing 27 points of damage. They did swap, so it brings that low one back. Team 2 charged for 14, Team 1 charged for 17, so they swapped that around, and of course a little bit of defense. Now you've got the lower player there in the back. That was turn 5 that played out. So for their turn 6, aimed shot back to the mid. That's going to take out Kory's mid line. Attack goes by 31 against Franz, 27 against Kory. The auto attacks 14 and 17 meter. Team 1 is now really advancing up quite a bit more in meter, although Kory already has a little bit of a lead, or had a lead, but now it looks like Franz is caught up now. Turn number 7, they are doing some interrupts. Team 1 interrupts Team 2's front line, and they do the same thing. So then it's just a attack and another attack, 14 and 17, so they're getting up a little closer. Looks like Kory really needs to take out Fran's front line now, otherwise Franz might get that meter, which could really cause some problems then. So turn number 8, Team 2 interrupts Team 1 midline, uses blitz. They swap positions, 30 and 31 damage. Kory loses another one, another 24 damage as that one moves up. And so now looks like Kory has a meter and also Franz has a meter. Things get a little bit more interesting at this point, but looks like Kory's probably not going to make it much longer. That was turn 8. So turn 9, surprised it does make it one more round though. Team 1 interrupts Team 2 front line, so they do a fierce attack and then 25 points, 14 and 17, and then finally turn number 10, it's going to come out. Team 1 interrupts Team 2 front line and then uses full draw, but it was interrupted. All right, it's interrupted. So they do 30 points of damage. They take out Franz's front line. Wow. But when Franz's back line moves up and we take out Kory's last piece right there. So that was closer than I thought. There was a lot of interrupts going on there, which I haven't done a lot with myself. It's possible that my strategy could probably be fairly easily seen unless I mix it up one time in there. If I'm always going to be doing some kind of ability, the problem is that not always will each of your units be able to do their ability. They have to have a 1 round cool off. So if I just use my front line, obviously I would either use my my mid ability or I'd have to do a fierce attack or a swap or interrupt or something like that, right? Otherwise, you would be able to guess what I was about to do. So that was a very interesting battle right there. Let's go ahead and look at another one. So let's take a look at this next one. This one is level 1s with Bob Nothing and AI. So they are bringing in Dark Knight with Meditate, Heal, Aim Shot, Cannon Barrage, so a Pirate, and a Wizard, Priest, Archer, and it looks like they've got a couple of other things to choose from. So Cleave and Aim Shot, that would be a Warrior Archer with a Archer Monk. And for Lightning Strike Attune, I'm not sure what that is. Meditate is also a Monk. So interesting combination there. Let's just see what we get here. So turn number 1. Bob does a life tap. AI does a fierce attack. And then we have our normal stuff here, 35 points of damage again. But because of the life tap, they're gaining 17. That's something that I kind of wanted to do also, is bring in a priest for a life tap. I think that could be very important. It also lasts 3 rounds. So let's see how that life tap really affects over time here. Turn number 2, uses Meditate to charge 80 meters. Oh my goodness. So right there, you've got a full meter, 39 points of damage. They heal a little bit and deal out 34 points of damage, but now they've got a full meter, charges 16 meter and 17 meter, and they get 10 more meter there. Wow, that's interesting. Bob Nothing is all charged up right now on meter very quickly, and life tap is continuing to heal a little bit more each turn. Good play. Turn number 3, Last Stand, gains 11 damage, uses Dark Pact, bunch of stuff here, gains speed, uses some meter, got a little bit of damage on several of these people back here. Then the normal attacks, 38 points of damage and 55 points, plus they gain another 27. So we're seeing that the life tap really came into play, and that was something that was used, was that meter right there. Still has almost another meter already ready to go, just about. As far as looking at hit points, the 2 rounds now, or maybe even 3, but I think 2 rounds of healing has definitely helped from the life tap. Let's take a look at turn number 4. They take out 49 points of damage on that first one. You're gaining some health again. They come in here with another 34 points against Bob Nothing, but the meter that's being gained now is 24 and 24, team 1, 30 for team 2, and you've still got quite a bit of health left overall, and 2 meters because they did another meditate. Right, turn 5. Bob Nothing hits AI for 80 with Decaying Blade. They lose meter also, so it takes out some of their meter. And normal attack of 54 should take them out. 52 against that one. And as you can see now, just about game over here. Turn 6. Bob Nothing does a swap positions. Comes in with a fierce attack of 46. They do a 25. Interesting. I'm just swapping out. They don't care to die. They still got a pretty decent attack in though, and you might not have done much damage. Probably could have done something else, is my guess. So turn number 7, 75 points of damage. Still didn't get him with Ice Blast. They're going to do a fierce attack for 42. So now, maybe because you wasted time on the swap, do 29 points of damage for the regular attack, 13 and 11. You got a whole meter ready to go. And so now for turn number 8, Cannon Barrage, 50 might take him out. Yep, there you go. So the AI is okay. The AI is not great. I'm not sure that watching a lot of AI games is going to be fantastic, but that is interesting. Let's see if we can find another group, some level 1s against some level 1s. And this is Pouring, trying Guy Kid with some level 1s here. So this should be interesting. 2 good players. What are they going to be doing here? Ugh, double Sage, Guy Kid says. So I guess Lightning Strike and Attune is the Sage. And so we've got a Sage Wizard and another Sage Monk is going to be my guess. Plus a Warrior with Cleave and Wizard. So, man, really interesting lineup. That would be tough to beat, I suppose. Guy Kid comes in with a Warrior Wizard, which is what I'm bringing in, a Archer Priest, and a Pirate Warrior, which I've also got Cannon barrage coming in as well. So let's see how they use these. Guy Kid has something very similar to a lineup that I would be using. So turn number 1, Guy Kid gets off 70 with an aimed shot right away, and Ice Blast for 75. Yep, so this is kind of a little bit more like what I would probably be doing, just right off the bat with some offense. Then our normal attacks, Pouring gets in 31 points of damage, Guy Kid gets 25 points of damage. So already they're looking pretty beat up. 30 charge for Team 1. Wow, and 11 charge for Team 2. So Pouring has that Sage up here that really does get that meter up there quick, and even a backup Sage just in case. I wish we could see health points right here rather than just a bar. Wow. Okay, turn number 2 on this. We got Pouring coming in with Lightning Strike to their mid 90, kind of softening up that middle right there. Guy Kid does an Ice Blast to do 75 points over here. Pouring is down to about a third now. And then the normal attacks, Pouring does 26 with a attack, and then Guy Kid does another 24 back. So both their front lines are looking pretty soft right now. Again, Pouring's got that 30 added meter just because of the Sage. That is rough. You're going to get that meter fast with those Sages. That was turn 2. Turn number 3. They do a swap positions, Guy Kid looks like, and Team 1 interrupts Team 2's, and then the normal attacks, Guy Kid gets off 24 damage to Pouring, kills the front line, and Pouring does 22 damage, but since Guy Kid did a swap, then he's still alive. Interesting. Good shot, probably. Pouring gets that next Sage in the front, so he's got 30 still, and Guy Kid does not have much meter built up at this point. Pouring has only 2 heroes left, but Guy Kid's hero that moved to the back is so beat up and not able to attack at the moment anyway. Might be able to get one more attack in later, but we'll have to see how that plays out. For turn number 4, Team 2 interrupts Teams 1 midline, and then we get a Lightning Strike. Pouring gets a Lightning Strike in on Guy Kid for 90 points. Really softens up that front line. Normal attacks, Guy Kid does 20 onto Pouring's front line, and Pouring does 23 onto Guy Kid's front line. So Pouring is about a third, and Guy Kid's got about a quarter of health. With that Sage in front, Pouring is just really building up that meter. Guy Kid's not getting any meter to speak of at all. Turn number 5. Team 2 interrupt Teams 1 midline again, and then the normal attack is 22 points on Pouring and 33 points on Guy Kid, not quite putting Guy Kid out of the picture. Again, it's a 10 and 30 meter charge for each of those. Pouring has got a lot of charge with those Sages. One thing I'm noticing, a lot of charge, not really using much of that yet. Maybe trying to build up for something really big. See what comes into play here. Turn number 6. Team 2 interrupt Teams 1 midline again. Oh man, that must be the problem. Uses Attune. So there we go. And that uses a full meter. They get attack in. Guy Kid does 20 points. Pouring does another 20 points to the front line. I think Guy Kid's front line is dead now. And there is an additional, so Pouring does again 30 meters or gets 30 meter charge. And Guy Kid's getting 10. Those double Sages really coming in there rough. Turn number 7. Looks like they use heal. They get healed up a bit. That's nice. Guy Kid's getting healed. However, Pouring uses Cleave for 70 points each, and that just really does some damage. Takes out one of Guy Kid's second place, and then of course Guy Kid gets 36 points of damage on Pouring's front line. Pouring does 22 to Guy Kid, so at this point Pouring's front line has about 50% health. Guy Kid only has like an 1/8. Yeah, there's no chance Guy Kid's going to come out of this one. That cleave really was devastating right there for sure, and I think overall some of those attacks were just better. Maybe the fact that Pouring was able to get off a few more larger attacks while Guy Kid was interrupting, and of course probably for a good reason. All right, we don't want Pouring with 2 meters to get off a really massive spell. It's just a rough battle. All right, here we go. Last thing. Team 2 interrupt Team 1's front line. Again, why even worry about that, right? And then use Meditate. It was interrupted. And then for normal attacks, 35 against Pouring and 24 against Guy Kid, but that is it. So now why even worry about interrupting why wouldn't you just go for a full-blown ability attack? And the reason might be because maybe they had just done an ability the last turn, and of course you need a cooldown period, and you've only got that one hero left. Then, you know, if you're cooling down with that one hero, then that is it. So pouring ended up with an entire full health hero and about a fourth of another one. Very good use of those double sages. Man, that's gonna be rough. That did take 8 turns. There was a little bit of interrupting going on there in that game. That was pretty good though. All right, we're gonna look at one more. So let's check out Battle Room A. Bob and Dlay are coming in and doing a little bit of practice. We could watch this one. Bob Nothing, Dlay, they've got some level 1 heroes. Bob Nothing, it looks like it's bringing in a Dark Knight with a monk in front position. Mid position, we have a priest with a archer, and the back position looks like it's going to be a pirate and a wizard. Shackle, I think, is a knight. So Dlay's lineup from front to back is, looks like we've got a knight with a knight archer in the front. Looks like we've probably got a priest, a pirate in mid, and a warrior wizard in the back. It's interesting also. I like to see that warrior wizard. Makes me feel good about the warrior wizard combination that I have. Turn number 1, Bob Nothing versus Dlay. So Bob interrupts Dlay's front line, uses aimed shot. Dlay uses aimed shot, but it was interrupted. And then the normal attacks, Dlay does 26 points of damage, and Bob Nothing does 37 points of damage. So pretty even on that. The charge is 13 meters and 16 meters. Because of the interrupt that was used properly, Bob Nothing gets a 100 meters, so a full meter, because you guessed right and blocked the enemy there. Yeah. So that was really good. Not only did you block, but now you instantly have 100 meters. That is something to be said for choosing to use an interrupt and guessing right. Turn number 2, that is going to get you team 2 interrupt teams 1 front line this time. And but there's mid does life tap, and then the normal attacks, Dlay does 23 points, and Bob Nothing does 31 points, and also gains 15 for that life tap that they were able to get off. So that's interesting. Bob Nothing's got this life tap, likes to use it right off the bat. Bob Nothing has 1.5 meters, it looks like, to play with. Turn number 3, Bob Nothing dealing out 80 points of damage, takes 100 meter to do that. Dlay does a fierce attack for 42. Bob Nothing does a normal attack for 37 and takes out Dlay's front line and gains another 18 health because of that life tap. Team 2 charges for 13, Team 1 has 18 plus 16 meter, and Team 1's effect, life tap, has 2 turns left. Wow. Turn number 4, Team 1 interrupt Teams 2, so Bob Nothing interrupts and indeed catches a cannon barrage attempt, and so does 34 points of damage against Dlay in a normal attack, gains 17 health, and Dlay does 26 points of damage. So again, that life tap is really coming in. Team 1 charges for 17 and 16, Team 2 charges for 27, and life tap is 1 turn left. All right, life tap is pretty important in a couple of these. Turn number 5, Dlay uses life tap also. Bob Nothing does 54 points of damage, gains 27 health. Dlay gains 11 and does 23 points of damage. Is that going to be enough using life tap here this late in the game? Maybe. Team 1 charges for 27 and 16, Team 2 charges for 11 and 27. Life tap is helping them both out now in this case. Team 1's life tap wears off. Team 2 has 3 turns left for life tap. I don't know if waiting that long for life tap is going to be a good strategy, because now you've only got 1 1/3 hero. Turn 6, let's see, they swap positions. Dlay swaps positions. Bob uses life tap again. Dlay does 32 points of damage. I guess gains nothing, maybe. And Bob Nothing does 33 points of damage and gains 16 health. Team 1 charges for 16 and 16. Team 2 charges for 16 and 10. So now they're both a pretty decent meter built up. Team 2 has 2 turns of life tap left. Turn number 7. Team 1, Bob Nothing interrupts Dlay's first line, which also blocks an ice blast. So looks like Bob Nothing gains 100 meter. Dlay does a normal attack for 31, gains 15 health. Bob Nothing is attacking for 37, gaining 18 health. And this is just a back and forth because of that life tap. Team 1's charging 18 and 16. Team 2 is charging 15 and 10. Again, the life tap is helping those charges get up there as well. Team 1 has 2 turns left for life tap, and Team 2 has 1 turn left for life tap. Turn number 8. Let's see. Looks like Bob Nothing swaps some positions. Dlay does a cleave for 70 points on both the first and the second positions. Hits pretty hard, both of those. Bob Nothing does 28 points to Dlay and also heals 14. Dlay gets 34 points of damage, or deals 34 points and gets 17 health back from the life tap. Team 1 is charging 14 and 11 meters. Team 2 is charging 17 and 10. Life tap is probably going to be wearing off. See, life tap for Team 2 wears off. Team 1 has 1 more turn of life tap. Also, Team 1 has 4 meters to use if they want to. I think that's a lot. Life tap was helping out a lot with that. Maybe they weren't using much of it. Turn 9, how is that turning out? Team 2 interrupt Team's 1 front line. Bob Nothing does heal and gets 45 points onto first and second positions, and then deals 28 points of damage to Dlay, gaining 14 health. Dlay does 34 points of damage. Life tap is worn off, so it doesn't gain any health back. Team 1 is charging 14 and 11. Team 2 is charging 10. And Team 1's life tap wears off this time. So now what we're looking like is their frontline positions are pretty much even. Bob Nothing has almost a 75% health in the second position, and then that last position here is about equal if you were to look at those two together. Turn 10, let's see, Dlay interrupts Bob's front line, and that's good because Bob was trying to do an ice blast, so Dlay gets 100 meter for guessing correctly. Normal attacks, Bob Nothing does 27 points, and Dlay does 34 points. Team 1 charges 11, Team 2 charges 10. Bob has 4 meters and Dlay has 1 meter to use. Their front lines are looking very similar. Bob has a whole other hero. Turn 11, a lot's happened here. Cannon Barrage looks like is getting used. 50 points on Dlay, not quite killing Delay's front line. Dlay is going to use Cleave, 70 points to both front and mid, which takes out Bob's midline. Wow. And so Bob's midline dies. Also, there's some attacks going on. Dlay, there's a normal attack of 32, taking out Bob's front line again. And then Bob's back line comes up to the front, does 35 points to Dlay, taking out Delay's front line. Wow, there was a lot that happened right there. And they looks like they both charge for 10, leaving Bob with 5 meter, which seems like it's a wasted right now. It's not been used, just building up. And Dlay has been using meter, almost full to another one, and right at this point they are looking really close. Bob Nothing has about a hero with 1/3 health. Dlay has a hero, only one, with about 1/4 health. Really close. Looks like turn 12 is going to be the determination right here. Looks like a short turn. Looks like maybe 1 hit perhaps. Something's going to happen. So Dlay uses heal, gains 45 health. Wow. Bob Nothing comes in with a decaying blade for 80, and that does take Dlay all the way out, even when Dlay was trying to gain that 45 health. So very good. Wow, that was a very close game. Bob Nothing ends with 5 meter and a hero with about 1/3 health. Wow. All right, looks pretty fun. And now that I've looked through some of this stuff, it looks like it's not overly difficult to be guessing some of these things, although I'm imagining playing in those matches is a lot more difficult than just reading off what's happening to try to figure out what, because of course I'm not using any strategy at the moment, I'm just reading what's happening. I am planning to enter, in fact I've already registered for the tournament. If you want to get registered in here, go ahead and hook into DFK Fight Klub's Discord. I think you can do that through their Twitter account, it has a link. You can also ask in DFK's general chat Discord for how they can get hooked up with that. There are a lot of good prizes. There is a 15 crystal entrance fee to get in there, but there are a lot of really good prizes. Even if you don't win, there are, I think, 9 chances to win at a raffle, in raffle drawings. And with only 64 entrants, that could be pretty good. Very good. That is DFK Fight Klub. Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms website offers a place where you can plug in your wallet address and then look at different heroes that you have that you could throw in there, and it will give you information about their health and charge and damage and all this other kind of stuff too. I guess technically we could even look at like Pouring's wallet or Dlay's wallet and select those heroes again to kind of compare what their healths were and so on. I think one of the things that I will mention, I did put in a new video how to download, install, and config the DFK waifu bot from Carlo Infinity. Go and check out that video and just leave a comment and a like on that video. I'm going to be doing another raffle giveaway for something pretty soon, and then we'll do a giveaway for that pretty soon. Come to my Twitch stream in the mornings. I stream on Twitch US Central Time in the morning. I stream on YouTube US Central Time in the afternoons. And yeah, we can chat about all kinds of stuff if y'all have questions about it there as well. Or of course you could, I do plan to put this video on YouTube, so you could leave a comment in the YouTube video as well. All right. It is later than I thought. Oh my goodness, 6 p.m. already. Let me wrap things up right here. Big Sweaty D's, thanks for showing up here in chat. Really enjoyed chatting with you. Love to have you on the stream again. Love your questions. I do stream on Twitch in the morning hours if you want to catch me on there. I'm not sure if you have a Twitch account or watch Twitch much. I will be doing YouTube stream again tomorrow at the same time. I'd love to have a chat with you a little bit more, and we can talk about all kind of things DeFi Kingdoms. I'm very hyped up on DeFi Kingdoms in general, and it kind of sounds like you've been involved in it for a while. Maybe we can have some more fun chats. Yeah. My stomach is rumbling over here. It's telling me it's time to get off. It's time to get some food. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that and satisfy my stomach for now. But thanks for being here. Bravos Labs, if you're still here, thanks for stopping in. You might be lurking right now. Nobel, Crypto Monete, if y'all are still here, thanks for hanging out and coming in. Really appreciate that, since right now we're still looking at a very small viewership still. Hopefully we can get some of our old viewers back as we have some more fun stuff to do and start getting a little bit more out of the bear market. I will see y'all tomorrow.